name is Margaret Ann Windsor, and I was kidnapped from Buckingham Palace, 1941, and brought to Moulton, Alabama, given the name of a dead twin, Peggy Ann Dempsey. I married a Childers. Both twins were murdered by their mother, Lina, and it covered up. Now then, I want to get into this because a lot of people don't care. Really, quite frankly, they want me shut up. I'll go ahead and say it because I'm going to read you part of murders that I knew about, and I've been telling all along that were done in patterns and mind control. I want to first say this is my dad, Edward VIII. Oh, good man. Reason they took him out. This is my Aunt Georgia O'Keefe, Irish. My mom's Claudia Ruth that was married to my father, King Edward VIII. Not this imposter who married Wallace Simpson. That was an imposter, not my father. She's an American spy. This is my Uncle George, illegal George VI, Elizabeth's father. That makes her illegal. She's part of the New World Order. Freemasons that kidnapped me, the Illuminati, the Jews, the Rockefellers, Rothschilds, Bilderbergers. Joe Kennedy was ambassador. The Irish. My mother was Irish American. Hey, but they took up for him. JFK, his father was appointed ambassador to England, and they helped kidnap me. A whole bloody bunch of them did, and take down my father. And what's happened to my children here in this country, and myself, and my country's a hostage. Let me say this. I wrote about mind control murders in 76 till April Fool Day of 80 when antifreeze was put in me. Now, this has been ongoing, what happened to me, the laws. I've had no civil rights. No one's been prosecuted. They've all lived good lives off of it. Larry Flint was shot in Lawrenceville, Georgia, on March the 6th of 78. And I lived in Marietta. I was doing the book. So much of this happened in Atlanta, Georgia, and you got the U.S. Attorney General Holder down there now talking about civil rights. Man, they do not want any of this told, and that's the reason now they're going to push to shut down the social media, that the only outlet you have, really, for freedom of the press. Larry Flint was shot, and I was later out at his place. He helped me in a campaign actually to replace the Dr. Congressman Larry McDonald, whose plane had been shot down. He was a part of all this that happened to me. Now then, I wanted to get to this. This is next door to me. This is part of the mind control murders ongoing. Mind control is hard to prove, and certain murders over this long period of time have been done in patterns. Virginia Tech, next door, Montgomery County, Blacksburg, Virginia. Fort Hood shooter was a psychiatrist that finished school there. This is James Holmes is being treated for mental illness when mind control has nothing to do with mental illness. It's torturing him. You have to stop the programming. But they all know this. Now I wanted to focus on this because this is, I wanted to say this is my Uncle George, and they were planning my kidnapping, in case I didn't say that, in 39. I was born in 39. And you get into twins and all this that's been done in patterns. But I was shocked when I started going back on some of this, and I want to say this now. Timothy McVeigh, I've always said, in part, it was what they were doing to me at the time. This happened, the Oklahoma City bombing. He said that he had chips implanted in him by the U.S. Army. And Terry Nichols. Now, he was put to death for the Oklahoma City bombing. What I was finding here, don't know if I have it put together so that I can tell it. I was kind of shocked when they're talking about Bill Clinton. I went back into that because of the Ron Brown killing and Ron Brown's background. You have to go get background checks on all this, who they work for, like Jesse Jackson, Ron Brown did. But anyway, you get into the name Brown, and you get into the deaths of the black kids in Atlanta that Wayne Williams is in prison for. And you get into, now I'm going to forget his name. My God, it's so overwhelming. Lee Brown was police commissioner back in Atlanta, brought in there during the Wayne Williams, the killings and his trial. He and Maynard Jackson, both black. Maynard was mayor. And they went on ABC, Good Morning America, and said that Wayne didn't commit the crimes, it was the mechanism used. So this was taped. Shortly afterwards, Wayne was arrested and convicted. It's mind control. They're talking about the mechanism used. So Lee Brown was transferred to Houston and became police chief many times and mayor, and then he became drug czar for the Clinton administration. Then you get Ron Brown works for the Clinton administration, and supposedly he was commerce, head of the commerce and all that, Secretary of Commerce. April 3rd, 1996, he was killed in a plane crash in Croatia. There's a whole lot if you just start Googling it. Now, I knew about that, but there was a question there, a cover-up, that he was actually taken off the plane, shot in the head. Now then, he also worked for, let's see, he did, for Edward Kennedy in his campaign, Jesse Jackson in Atlanta in his campaign. Okay, and then I was trying to get to Vince Foster, who was the White House counsel to Bill Clinton. And that's what led me into Googling, and all I can say is you should look up some of these people I knew had died. Vince Foster, that was mind control. They tried to say he killed himself, and then I'm not even going to go into that. You can Google it on Wikipedia if they don't tear that down. But you've got Jennifer, what was her name? Well, I don't know. Some of these, they're just long lists. I mean, I'm not laughing because it's funny. You should see what they did to me. Vince Foster was found supposedly committed suicide. You should see the people and what happened there in that cover-up. William Colby, and I know exactly where I was and everything on this one. Oh, yeah, I do. When his boat, he went out in a canoe and died. He was CIA. But he was connected to the Clinton. The Alan Weicher died 4/19/95. He oversaw the Clinton Secret Service detail. October of 94, Weicher transferred Secret Service. And I wrote it down. These are crimes, and if I'm not making sense, maybe you should walk in my shoes and try to tell what I have, and I get nothing but people wanting me dead. Well, I see I didn't get it all down here. But one of the girls that testified, she was an aide to Clinton. She was actually shot and killed 5 times at Starbucks there in D.C. And that gets into a whole list of names and what happened there. And then you get into bodyguards for Bill Clinton. And who died the only one that died in the Murray, Oklahoma, was Weicher. Was the only agent killed in the bomb blast 4/19/95. I've always said Timothy McVeigh was programmed, and he said it before he died, and Terry Nichols. So there's no way I can go on and read this. It's also drug czar. I want to get into that real quick. Martinez. He was mayor of Tampa. His daughter Jennifer was kidnapped. The day I was down there, what was done to me is so hideous, really. I had nothing to do with any of this. I happened to be down there homeless and later went back, worked at the Tampa Hilton as sales secretary there in Tampa. But that night, 16th of November of, I guess that'd be 82.